Chelsea 2, Tottenham Hotspur 0, and I don't know how long this one's going to be because we actually won. We actually had a pretty good result. I'd say pretty good result. I said it once, I said it twice, I'll say it 3 times, and I'm going to say it live on playback.tv/Alex Goldberg in just a few seconds. You can catch me there. And in all future post-pod sort of chat rooms over there on Playback TV, where myself and Alex Goldberg, a few other people are going to be discussing our thoughts on the results of games in the future, both this season, next season, and so on. In regards to this one, this is the place where I get to talk without getting interrupted by Alex, because let's be honest, that's what he loves to do. Chelsea 2, Tottenham 0. I didn't wake up this morning thinking for 1 second, 1 solitary second, that Chelsea Football Club would come away with a win against Tottenham here today. We've done it earlier this season. We absolutely did it earlier this season. But did I think we'd do it this season? This game? Not so much. Most of all, it's Poch o'clock. I think that's the first time I've said that on this channel for quite some time. Review, preview, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I haven't said it in so long. It feels good to actually praise this Chelsea side and also praise Pochettino, because let's just face it. Let's face the facts. Let's face what it is. And what it is Chelsea actually played from top to bottom really, really good. Really good, just really good football. For a change. For once. It wasn't. I mean, we still had the severe paranoia of how are we going to balls this up? How are we going to piss this up the wall? How are we absolutely going to pull our own pants down? Not even, it never comes down to necessarily the other team pulling our pants down. It's us. It's us pulling our own pants down and just allowing the opposition to just take advantage of us, for lack of a better term. From top to bottom, I do think it's harsh to say that that Gilchrist had the worst performance of anyone. I personally wouldn't. Villa losing 4-2. Oh, they're playing in a Conference League, Europa League. I wouldn't necessarily say that Gilchrist, he didn't have the stellar performance that everyone had in terms of quality. But what I will say is that Gilchrist is proper fucking Chelsea, is what he is. He was getting stuck in. He had Heung-min Son on fucking ropes. He had him on absolute puppet ropes or whatever I don't even know what you say. But he had him dancing. He absolutely knew his every move, and even when he didn't, he just pulled him to the ground. He made his life a living hell. Absolutely, 21, whatever he is, dominating a player of Heung-min Son's quality. A bit of a sexual analogy. It was meant to be. But dominating a quality player like Heung-min Son at the very young age, that I can check how old he is. How old is he? 20? 20 years of age. He made it look easy. He made it look absolutely easy. And for that, although he's ranked the lowest rated on what I'm looking at FOTMob, and quite frankly, he's higher ranked than every single player on Tottenham's side. So I'll take that. But he's the only orange player. Everyone else is green. Cucurella is the man of the match for some reason. And I say for some reason, not because I don't think he played well, but because I do think Chalobah, I think Gallagher, I think Jackson's a good shout as well. I don't get how Palmer had such a high ranking as he has. But at the same time, the free kick from Palmer, absolutely sublime. It's that moment of quality. Absolutely brilliant. to draw in. Does that count as an assist from him? I don't think it does. But more or less it does. I don't know. It was one of those situations where you think, this is Cole Palmer. This is Cole Palmer. This absolutely could end up going in the back of the net against all the odds, because let's be honest, it was quite far out. The angle wasn't great. It was down the middle, but it was there for Palmer to have a shot because it's Cole Palmer, so why the fuck not? Do you know what I mean? Like, he's going to go for it. And go for it. He did. Brilliantly taken by Nicholas Jackson to put it in the back of the net. And that was 2-0. That was all she wrote, you know. I was saying earlier on in the game, I've kind of stepped over the first goal. I said earlier on in the game that we haven't scored from a set piece in so long. So long. And yet we scored from 2 set pieces today. It's one of those beautiful moments. It's one of those glorious moments where I am so synonymous with jinxing Chelsea Football Club this season. I say one thing, it happens. It happens. But at the same time, Luke and Dan and so many other people who say that my jinxing is the death of us, there has been many a time where I've said something about Chelsea and it comes to fruition and it happens. In the sense of, I say, we haven't scored from a set piece. So-and-so hasn't scored. This hasn't happened. That hasn't happened. It works both ways. Unfortunately, it does happen in the sense of Chelsea's conceding as well. But all the same, it is good to see that we've scored 2 headers as well. Who would have thought we could score headers still with Thiago Silva being non-existent anymore? Well, I say non-existent, that's quite harsh. He played recently, but obviously he's going out the door. Without him, our heading really isn't too much of a concern for oppositions. But Trevor Chalobah and Nicholas Jackson proved that is not to be the case. Badiashile, obviously, as well, as we know, is a heading threat. So in the future, you never know. Mudryk, a better game, but overall, I don't know. It's sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. You know, it's very Mudryk. Yeah, you're right. You just said something about headers, and I scored a header in FIFA. Wow. Mudryk is, I still think a loan would just be so good for him. I really do. I don't see how it could be detrimental to him. I just don't think he's ready for Chelsea in terms of where we're trying to get. We're fighting, we're clawing, we're trying to get back to where we want to be, where we need to be. And that is fighting for Champions League. That is fighting for top 2, top 3, fighting for the Premier League. People laugh at that and think, yeah, okay. But that's where we deserve to be. Not deserve, but that's where we belong. That is the reason we are like a top 6 team. We are, you know, one of the most decorated. We are the most decorated, I think, at the moment, still, kind of, technically, until Man City win something else. We are the most decorated club in English history over the last 20 years. Not necessarily history, but you know what I mean? Over the last 20 years, Chelsea are the most decorated for whatever reason. And so I think for that reason, you know, Aston Villa getting top 4 is something that we need to take a bite out of that. We need to ingest that into next season and think, how the fuck have Aston Villa managed this? And, you know, we haven't. No disrespect to them. Obviously, they've had their history as well. They've won European Cups. But come on. It's time that I am not for 1 second taking this win and just running with it thinking, we're going to win everything now. Although a win against Tottenham will always get your spirits up. It's safe to say that is the case. But I'll leave you with this. And then I will meet you on playback.tv/Alex Goldberg. He's live at the moment. But what I will leave you with is this. 1, it's pot your clock, baby. And number 2 is don't count this Chelsea side out. I did it, and I've been made to pay. The Aston Villa game, we should have won. I said this team cannot fight back after being able to, not being able to, they have faced adversity and they haven't been able to overcome. They've had their backs against the wall and they haven't overcome something, or they've been loss after loss after loss. There's no real time for them to, there's no sign that they're going to be able to break out of that ceiling that we keep seeing them fall down and down and down again and just getting worse and worse. And yet we should absolutely have beaten Aston Villa, not for the referee. And we've come and we've beaten, maybe not an informed Tottenham side. They've just lost to Arsenal, but we got the result. We got the result. And, never doubt Chelsea is what I would say. Doubt them sometimes because, again, in the words of Gattuso, sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit, but isn't every club. That's the fact of the matter. That is football. That is life. And, again, finally, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, please like the video, subscribe, hit the bell notification to be notified of any future content on the channel. Hey, it's Potch O'Clock. I will see you in just a few seconds. Playback.tv/Alex Goldberg. He's live over there now. I will be there in just a few seconds. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Harry. Cheers and peace.